Hi, I'm Roberto Barba, and I'm going to discuss a little bit about four fundamentals that are really important in what we would consider our society. These four fundamentals would be um, race, class, ability, and gender. For this, we're going to use a character from the series Euphoria. This character is Rue. Rue is a little teenager that lives with her mother and sister. If we see her from a gender's perspective, we would consider her as a female heterosexual that identifies herself as a woman and is attracted to men. Um, from this part of sexuality, I think that it's really important that schools, the system includes this sexual education into the teenager's life so that they could have all the information they need to experience, to feel new things, to to try new stuff without being exposed or safe in this matter. So if we help them to get new information, new materials, or try or methods to prevent diseases or getting pregnant when they don't want to, I think we will help them to experience and see sexuality in a really different way. Now, when we see Rue from a race perspective, we would see her as an Afro American because of all the racial and facial characteristics she has. Like, for example, the color of her skin, her hair is curled like many Afro American. So this type of characteristic will enter to the Afro American profile. Then if we see her from a class perspective, we would or economical perspective, we would consider her as a lower high class because her family does just fine with money, but is not able to get expensive things or luxury. So um, I think this is really important part because for us to understand how some other classes live, these fundamentals help us to understand how the lower, the upper, and the middle class think, function, and live their life. So it's a really helpful way to understand how many people live. Then, if we see Rue from a ability perspective, we'd consider her as a um, able but medically inadequate because she's able to do a lot of stuff, but with her drug addiction problem, she's not medical adequate for to live or be in what we consider society. So this part of ability is really complex because of all the people that had some diseases, has some addictions, and especially the people that are considered unable or disabled. So these people especially suffer from like literally invisibility. They are not considered as part of society, and they can't enter what our society is. So they can go to a job, and they can't even sometimes are they are not even considered citizens sometimes because it is really difficult to understand that they can do stuff. When we think of a disabled people, we automatically think that they can't do anything, that they need help for everything, but that's not true. There are a lot of people that are disabled that I think that term is the worst, but there are people that are able to work, to think, to create, to be more smarter than many other people, and they are not considered in society in many works or jobs because they are just disabled. So I think it is really important to make them feel uh, uh, accepted, and that they are part of our society, and that they like value or are able to do the same stuff we able people do. Um, so with these four fundamentals now finished with Rue, we can see that without these four fundamentals, it is really difficult to explain Rue's situation in life and how she does with money, how she feels about her sexuality, how does she looks maybe, and even how what problems related to ability or medical situations he has. So um, helping her to help well with these four fundamentals, we could understand how she feels, how she lives. But without them, it's really difficult to really understand her. And having these fundamentals sometimes is really difficult because these four fundamentals just generalize instead of making individual or analyzing each person as individuals.